My wife got these at, she got a pair of, they're called Oncept. I think that's how you pronounce them or whatever. But you're a big Gus Meyer shopper, aren't you? You go to Gus Meyer?
I don't. I don't.
Anyway, so she got her a pair, and then or actually her brother got her a pair, and then she bought me a pair of these. Man, I absolutely loved them. You need to get you a pair of these on Oncept. Yeah. I see you got a pair of Brooks on today.
Yeah, I got a pair of Brooks on because I've had a case of plantar fasciitis.
Oh gosh!
And trying to get rid of it. So these shoes are some of the most comfortable to help with that situation. So that's why I'm wearing them.
Man, I tell you what, I had a Morton's neuroma. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Oh, it's awful. It's an inflammation of the nerve in between like your second and third toe.
Okay.
Which is a mark that I'm getting old, of course. But I had that a couple of years ago, and it was a nightmare. But there's almost nothing worse than having foot pain. And so I feel you on that. But man, you got to check these out. I really like them. They're a good.
Well, I'll have to ask my wife about it. My wife is the shoe shopper now.
She's a shoe shopper.
Yeah, okay. Absolutely. So I'm sure she knows all about them.
Man, so I definitely want to talk about what's going on with you now. I mean, you were hitting the roads. I mean, I'm seeing updates on social media about you've been out on the recruiting trail and you've had a lot of success. So kind of catch us up on what's going on with Bevill State volleyball.
Well, if I could come back to that just a little bit out, Bevill State's always been a special place to me. Many years ago when I left home, that's where I went to school.
Yeah.
And of course, I didn't play volleyball. I went and played basketball. But it's kind of like a second home to me. So I'm really excited about turning things around and making them better for Bevill State volleyball. And I've worked extremely hard to try to bring in some quality student athletes, and I'm really excited about the girls that I've signed for. I was excited about the ones I got at the end of last year for 25. But I've had a whole year to try to bring in the top athletes that I want, and I feel good about the ones I've signed. I feel good that I'm going to finish with one or two more really quality kids as well.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you play at Brewer?
I did.
Okay.
It was Brewer State at the time.
Okay. Yes. And you played for Dick Anderson?
I did.
Yeah. That was sad to hear of his passing recently. I know he was, I played for Coach Clem at Walker College, and, such a great influence on my life, and I suspect that Dick was that for you.
Yes. Coach Anderson meant a lot to me. And actually, when I accepted the job at Bevill to coach volleyball, I actually asked to have the same office that Coach Anderson had, because it's just kind of sentimental to me.
Yeah.
So yes, my office is now on the gym in Fayette is Coach Anderson's office.
I didn't realize that, and it was the same way for me with Coach Clem. I mean, Coach Clem passed away in 1996. And, I came back as a head coach, the head basketball coach there in 2007, and I had the same office. And it meant something to me to be in the same office as an absolute legend. And, but it's a big deal. So you went to Brewer. How did you ultimately end up being a coach?
I knew since I was in like 7th, 8th grade that's what I wanted to do. I want to be a teacher and a coach. And I've kind of always, as far back as I can really remember, that's what I wanted to do. So just something, I guess I was just called to do that.
Mm-hmm. How did you get into volleyball? Why volleyball?
I've done a lot of firsts. My background was always basketball. And that was my love with basketball. But I got into volleyball because of my two daughters. When my oldest daughter was, from the time my two daughters were about this high, and could do anything with a ball. We was in the gym working on ball handling, shooting. I wanted to be basketball players. And then when my oldest daughter got into 7th grade and she tried volleyball for the first time, she fell in love with volleyball. And then my youngest, there's 4 years difference in my 2 girls' age. The youngest one always followed the oldest one around. And when she got into volleyball, so did the youngest one. And then, at that time, I was principal at Double Springs Elementary. And the volleyball coach at our school moved on to a different job. And so we had a position open. And long story short, I was able to convince them to let me coach volleyball. And so 21 years later, I'm still doing it.
Now, were you self-taught? Was there anybody that taught you how to do it, or did you just kind of figure it out?
Well, that's a great question, actually. So when my girls became interested in volleyball, and I still remember my oldest one, daughter telling her name's Cassie. Now she's a teacher and a coach. She's the head volleyball coach at Decatur High School. I still remember Cassie coming to me and hey, Daddy, I like volleyball like you like basketball. And I said, okay. Well, if that's what you're going to do, let's be good at it. So I started taking Cassie to volleyball camps. And when I'd take her to a camp, a college camp, I'd always ask the coaches if I could get down there and listen to exactly what they was teaching her. So when we went back home, I could teach her the same things. I could reinforce the same skills, fundamentals that they was teaching their kids. So that's kind of how I learned volleyball, was taking and working with my daughters when I take them to college camps.
And that's just so important for a parent too. And I've got a 7-year-old son who's he played flag football. He's about to get into basketball. Then he's got baseball. But I just think it's so important for a parent to be plugged in like that.
Yeah. Well, it was my girls, and they meant the world to me. So I mean, whatever they was doing, I wanted to be involved in it. And and I've coached every sport through the years except girls softball. And my girls never played softball. That's probably the reason I haven't coached girls softball. But when I first got out of college, I was head football, head boys basketball, and then you'd have folks that, hey, coach, you make a good principal. And so I got my principal certification. My old high school principal had become superintendent. He offered me a job to come back home, which is Winston County. So I accepted that and got into administration. And then I talked to the powers to be to let me be an administrator and a volleyball coach. And then, my wife and I both retired at the same time because we was going to follow our 2 daughters in college and watch them play volleyball. My oldest one was at Troy at that time. My youngest one had just signed to go to the University of Alabama. So we both retired and was going to follow them. And then I got an opportunity to be retired, coach volleyball as well. Went to ARAB. Superintendent there was a guy that wouldn't take no for an answer, probably. He told, John Mullins was his name. Mr. Mullins told me, he said, hey, if you'll come and coach volleyball, you make that schedule, you and your wife can still watch those girls play.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then, after being at ARAB for 3 years, it's kind of funny there that we beat, when I was at ARAB, we won the regional championship versus Walker, right? And then Walker came calling. Later became Jasper. Came to Jasper. We did a lot of firsts at Jasper as well. So I'm trying to do what I did at Jasper at Bevill.
Two state championships.
Yeah. But there was some growing pains. We actually, prior to the state championship, we finished state runner-up.
Yeah.
And then we found you got to learn. Not many teams win a championship first time. And we after finishing runner-up, and we lost that state championship in the fifth set. Kind of like in overtime, like it was 17-15 in the fifth set that we lost that first one. But then the next 2 years, we was awesome. This is something that folks don't talk about, but I need to give a shout out to those kids on those two state championship teams at Jasper. Al, for 2 years, those kids did not lose a set. Now think about it. Did not lose a set to a 5A school.
Wow.
Did not lose a set. That's like football team not being behind in any quarter. A basketball team not being behind any quarter.
Yeah.
They did not lose a set.
Now, were y'all runner-up in 17?
We were.
Is that right? So runner-up in 17, then state champion in 18 and 19.
Yes.
So it could have been a three-peat. It was that close.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to talk strategy for a moment because I don't know a whole lot about volleyball. I'd like to learn, but because I feel like my daughter, who's 4, is probably going to be doing something athletic. So I probably need to get ready for that. But I do want to talk strategy. Tell me about, what's your ultimate goal? Is it to get to a point where you can just kill it? Is that kind of what you're trying to get to? Offensively, tell me how you approach that, because I know about as much about coaching volleyball as I do fixing a car. So,
well, consistency is the key for volleyball. When you're playing really competitive volleyball, you're not gonna win a bunch of points in a row. If you're not competitive in volleyball. So you got to try to be consistent in the first touch of the ball. Like if you're serving, you got to consistently send a tough serve over the net. And then you reverse that when the other team's serving, you got to consistently pass that ball so that your setter can set it and you can be on the offensive and attacking the ball to score points. And so that's the battle. Mm-hmm. That's the battle. So a strategy is you got to work. You got to work day in and day out to be good on that first touch of the ball.
Mm-hmm. What do you like about coaching it?
Well, first, with coaching girls, until I started coaching volleyball, I hadn't coached the female athletes. It's always been on the boys' side. So there's difference in coaching boys and girls. With coaching guys, it's almost like you have to be you almost have to be mean to those guys, to get them to do what you want to do. With girls try to please you. Girls want to be pleasers, and so if you can get girls to buy into what you want to do, they're going to work hard to try to please you and what you're doing.
You just got a season in the books, just finished up, and so what's your mentality right now? How do you assess the previous season, and what are you looking forward to most for next year?
Well, we finished our season was 17 and 20. Was it what we wanted? We had higher expectations than being 17 and 20. Now, a lot of my people, that that I work with at the Fayette campus, I mean, they are all excited. They came like, Coach, man, the team did well, and we did some nice things this year. Unfortunately, when I was talking a while ago about the first touch of the ball, two of my best passers got injured this year, and that really hurt us. We started off the season really strong, 6-1, and then when we as most freshmen find out, the season is a grind, and then we suffer those injuries to those key people, and it took us a little while to kind of overcome that. We finished the season strong, so we started off great, hit not so great, and then we finished up pretty strong, won 4 out of the last 6 matches. So I'm excited about next year because I feel like that I got a year's experience. I'll do a better job. I feel like the kids that I got coming back will be better. I feel like the ones I got coming in are going to make us even stronger. So, yeah, I'm super excited about next year already.
And, I mean, you want to raise the program, and, I mean, you're a competitor.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the key is just, recruit? I mean, do you feel like that's kind of the key to the whole, to be able to get the program to another level?
Yeah, I do, Al. I mean, I got this, 30 years I've had this country term I've always said that, there's never been a donkey that won the Kentucky Derby. It's always a thoroughbred. So I think everything I do is recruit, and the better players you got, the better coach you are.
What kind of player are you looking for?
I want someone that's competitor. They like to compete, whether it's game, practice. That's the first thing that when I start talking to a recruit or a recruit's parent or that recruit's coach, I want somebody that wants to compete. I feel like in society in general nowadays, that's kind of a dirty word now, to compete. So I want a competitor. I want somebody that's not afraid of hard work. And I got somebody that wants to chase the same goals and expectations I have. And, I'd like to see Bevill win a state championship.
I got to talk about Dayon.
Okay.
I first met her. We did a little story on her in 78 magazine, our local magazine here in Jasper, and she and I had a great photo shoot, and she's got such a great personality, but she got some accolades recently and was named, first team All North,
right,
and then second team All Region. So talk about her, contributions to the team.
Yeah. Well, Dayon was the team leader. She had such a great spirit and personality about her. She's just a joy to be around and coach. I still remember Dayon walking down the hall as a 7th grader at Jasper High School, and I walk up and I see this tall young lady coming this way, and I'm like, I stopped and I said, "You play volleyball?" And she said, even at that time, "No, sir." And I said, "Well, why not?" And he said, "Well, nobody's ever asked me." I said, "Well, I'm asking you." So I remember when she first started, and where she came from when she first started. But she just continued to work hard. She always had a great personality, and she meant a lot. She meant a lot. She actually played on that 19 team that won the state. Mm-hmm. Okay, when I say played, she was a starter on that team and was a a key part of us winning state and being so successful at Jasper. And she was great this year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, from the beginning. She's just a good leader and a good person. And hey, I don't know if you know this, Al. You ever heard that girl sing?
I've heard she's got some pipes. I've heard.
And she
it's like a family thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're families singing together. Yeah. Her dad is like a saxophonist or something like that. Is that right? Yeah.
And and her brother Deontay, was my manager this year, and he's going to be hard to replace as well because he did so many things. But the show choir when they was at both of them was in the show choir at Jasper, and but yeah, we got her when I was at Jasper. She actually sang the national anthem as a high school student.
Wow. Yeah.
And then she did it some this year for me as well at Bevill, and the folks at Bevill didn't know she could sing like that.
Yeah.
And then when I talked her into singing the national anthem, and it became the talk of the whole season. She did such a great job.
Yeah.
Because our PA system and speakers and things at the gym at Fayette is not the best, but man, you wouldn't know it the way she could sing. Mm-hmm. Okay, she overcome that hurdle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, she's there's not many Dayons that are out there.
Yeah.
I mean, she's. I could go on and talk about it. I mean, she's because I've known her for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, the folks at Bevill they've only known her for 2 years, but I've known her for several years, and she's great. She's great.
As a high school coach, I mean, you got to work the halls. I mean, just like you said, I mean, you got to pull people into your program. You can't just assume that you're going to build a great team. I mean, you've got to go out there and ask people to be a part of it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's one thing. Like some college coaches don't like to recruit. I kind of like that part.
I loved it when I was coaching.
I kind of like that part because, some people don't take no real good. But I mean, it's like in high school. I mean, not everybody that you walk the halls and you come across, not everybody you're going to talk to is going to come out and play volleyball. Not everybody's going to want to put in the work to be successful. Same thing in college. I mean, I talk to girls all the time that are great players right now. They don't want to keep playing past high school.
Not everybody's going to want to come to play for you, and you've got to be okay with no.
Yeah.
It's just like sales. I mean, being in, and I do it all the time. I mean, and you just got to be okay with being told no. Yeah.
Just go on to the next person.
Go on to the next person. Don't worry about it.
Find a person that wants to do the work, that believes in the things you're trying to sell to them.
Yeah.
And so I mean, we're off to a great start.
Yeah.
At Bevill.
Yeah. All right. So I want to take a slight divergence and just talk about you outside of the volleyball court, because I don't know a whole lot about you outside of that. So tell me, what outside of being a coach, what are some things that you enjoy? What's important to you?
I got to mention my wife. I mean, I got the greatest coach's wife around. I mean, she's someone, Al, that I actually met at Bevill, at Brewer. In Fayette. She was working in the admissions office, and my college coach, Coach Anderson, he said, "Hey, you may want to stop by up there in the admissions office. There's a young lady up there that you might be interested in." Okay, and of course I was a little hesitant, but I did, and so we after meeting her, we went to lunch the next day, and we've been together ever since. So 40 years. So actually we dated for a year, so 41 years. Okay, so
where was your first date?
You don't want me to talk about that. I mean, surely.
Where'd y'all go to lunch?
We went to Hardee's in Fayette.
Hardee's in Fayette.
All right, yeah.
Where all budding romances begin, right?
Well, I mean, it was like, in Fayette, there ain't a whole lot of places to eat lunch.
Yeah,
okay?
no,
So,
there's not.
and then she was, at that time, she had a certain amount of time she could take off for lunch and be back on the job. So, we went to Hardee's in Fayette, but, yeah. So, I mean, she's been so supportive, and, my wife loves to sing in church. All right. She actually sang this past Sunday. So, we, ever since we live in Double Springs, we've been members of First Baptist Church in Double Springs. Mm-hmm. And it's probably the reason we still live in Double Springs, because my wife, I mean, she's so comfortable with that church and her church family. After the girls have, left home and left us empty nested, that's why we just kind of still hanging around there. Okay. Other than, whatever my girls are involved in, whatever they're doing, that's kind of what we've always done. My wife and I, we like to, we've traveled the United States. There's very few states we haven't been to. We recently, our last long trip we made was up the East Coast. And we actually went up to the East Coast, and then we turned and went to Niagara Falls. We visited the Ark in
Kentucky, yeah.
And so we went up the East Coast, went to Niagara Falls, came back to Kentucky.
Was it planned, or was it kind of spontaneous, or
some planning too? Okay. Yeah. Like I spent some time planning, like there were certain things we wanted to do, but then it also became spontaneous too. Like we changed those plans whenever we felt like it.
Yeah.
Right.
I love it.
So,
what was your favorite part of the trip?
My favorite part. Now my wife might be different. I probably enjoyed my time in Washington, D.C.
Really?
I actually did. I actually enjoyed my time there because there was so much to see. I mean, and here's the thing: we're fortunate that, I mean, we walked. I mean, we do a lot of other things. We just, we actually stayed in Arlington, Virginia. Rode the tram over to Washington, D.C. each day, and then just got off and then walked and did whatever. Mm-hmm. So Washington, D.C. was probably my favorite. My least favorite was probably New York City. A lot of people they love New York.
Yeah. A lot different than Double Springs.
Absolutely.
And Jasper.
Absolutely. And I guess because we just felt, I mean, the whole time we was like, we didn't feel real safe in New York.
Yeah.
Okay. And we loved Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
Now that's something my wife wanted to do. I was a little bit hesitant about it. I don't know, but we enjoyed that.
Did you go on that boat?
Yeah, the Cave of the Winds.
Did you?
Wow. The Cave of the Winds, and then rode the boat out. Yeah, we did everything you could do. They say you need to do there.
How far northeast did y'all go?
Well, we was planning to actually go to Boston.
Yeah.
And then go to Niagara Falls. All right, we decided not to go to Boston because we got some friends of ours. They live here in Jasper that we've talked about. We're probably going back to Boston, and we're probably going to do a cruise. We're going to fly into Boston, spend some time in Boston, then do a cruise up that northeast coast. And
man, I'm telling you, I love New England.
Yeah,
I love it. I keep telling my wife, because my wife has not been, and I've been to. We went to Boston in '85. Now I was 7 years old, but we went to Boston and Nantucket, and had an absolute blast. And then through basketball, I've had some opportunities to go to New Hampshire and Maine, and then flew into Boston. But I just love it. I mean, I love it, and it's just so clean and so nice and so beautiful and very obviously very historic. I mean, there's that element of it too. But I love that part of the country, and so I would encourage you. Nantucket is unbelievable. I've been wanting to go back, and so I'm hoping that maybe we can make that trip sometime soon. My wife wants to go to New York. She wants to go to the Broadway shows and all that kind of stuff.
She needs to go.
Yeah,
she needs to go. Okay, yeah. And she may like it. Okay, and, but I don't see Paula and I ever going back to New York.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you watch sports? You play golf?
I was going to golf when I have a chance. I like to play golf. Golf's the most difficult sport I've ever tried to play, and I didn't play until probably first time I ever played golf, mid-20s, maybe late 20s, and then it became for me it became almost an obsession, dadgummit, I'm gonna get where I can do this. And
are you playing all the time now, or are you?
I don't play. I probably play less now than I used to. At one time I played quite a bit, but kind of now and I have no excuse. I have no excuse why I don't go play more, because I actually have some time. I could do it now.
Well, you're working and you're on the road recruiting. I mean, you're trying to build a volleyball program, and you're having to commute.
Well, but I do have time.
Yeah.
I just haven't made time because I got a 1-year-old grandson now.
There you go.
That's if I can make it long enough, I might flip back one day to start coaching boys again for him. Okay, because his dad played college baseball, mom played college volleyball, so maybe he's going to have a few athletic genes in his body.
Would you agree with this statement that if you can coach one thing, you can if you're a good coach, you can coach one thing, you can pretty much coach anything? Do you agree with that or no?
I do.
I think so too.
I do.
I think so too. I think if you understand, how to manage people, I think that's such a big part of it. And when I look back at my coaching career, that's where I feel like I had the fatal flaw, is that I was so focused on winning and the people and relationship aspect. That's so important, and also from a psychological standpoint. I grew up with a very my dad used reverse psychology on me, that he just was so critical and cutting, and when I became a coach, I kind of instituted that as well, because that's what I was taught. But if I were to go back and do it all over again, there would be less of that, and more encouragement and confidence building and things like that. But I just had that thought, recently that hey, if you're a good coach, you could pretty much coach anything. It's just different strategies, different X's and O's.
Well, like I mentioned earlier, I've coached a lot of things. My favorite thing to coach is probably football. Yeah, absolutely. And it goes back to, I was talking about golf a while ago, trying to be able to master golf because it's so difficult. But, in coaching football, you're trying to get 11 people on the same page and to do what needs to be done. Mm-hmm. I mean, basketball 5, volleyball 6, with the libero 7, so it's it didn't think about coaching football in Alabama. I mean, ain't nothing like Friday nights. I mean, everybody comes out to see a football game. Not everybody comes to watch a volleyball match, but everybody comes to watch a football game. So I really enjoyed coaching. Football is probably my favorite. Now, volleyball is probably second, though.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're a pretty good volleyball coach.
I mean, I actually like coaching volleyball probably better than I did boys basketball.
Yeah.
And that, some of my guys that played basketball for me, they hear that and they're like, they're going like, I can't believe you're saying that, Coach, because, I was, poured into basketball at one time, so much. But yeah, it's, but I think any coach that if you can coach and you're successful at coaching one sport, I think you can move on to a different sport.
Man, I don't know if I've ever been more nervous coaching my son. I coached at the high school level, and I coached baseball and basketball, and then at the college level, and I would get nervous before games. But I'm telling you, last year I was the head coach of my son's little league basketball team, and then his baseball team, and I don't know that I've ever been so nervous coaching. Did you feel that when you were
when I was coaching my girls?
Yeah.
I was coaching my girls.
Yeah.
That brought back a memory, Al. My oldest daughter's probably going to kill me for saying this, okay? But I got to mention it. In coaching, I never got nervous coaching. Football, basketball. But I still remember sitting at home the night before I coached my first volleyball game, okay? And I was nervous. I was nervous, Al. And I guess my oldest daughter, Cassie, she kind of sensed it, and so we got talking about the game next day, and Cassie was going into the 9th grade, okay? And she had actually been a starter on the varsity as an 8th grader the year before, but she was going into the 9th grade. She's like, she said, "Daddy, don't worry, I got you on this one." Okay. And then I like to flip the story on her, because so a few years later she got to be a senior, and when you get to be a senior, or your last year playing something, it should mean a little more to you, and it did to her. And so we were sitting in there talking, and she was really concerned about the team, okay, being successful that year. And I'm like, I looked at her and I'm like, "Hey, Cassie, don't worry. Chrissy's got you on this one." Okay. So my youngest one had become old enough to play with her sister. And even though she was young, she was pretty good. So I told her, I'm like, "She's got you. Don't worry. She's got you this time." And so being able to have both my girls on the same team, Al was man, that was a joy. That team I just mentioned that year when my oldest daughter was a senior, that would be in 2007 volleyball season, was a great season. I mean, we finished state runner-up that year to Bayside Academy. Yeah. Okay, Bayside won more state championships than any school in the state of Alabama, maybe in the whole nation. Okay, but that was a great year. But I was nervous. I was nervous coaching my own daughter first time. But she told me she was going to take care of me. So
I know. I think I know what you're going to say when I say this. But man, I don't know anything better than being a dad. And I know you've got a grandchild now, and I know that's a big deal too. But man, just being a dad, it's been one of the biggest blessings of my life.
Well, I've been blessed because, my two daughters have been great.
Yeah,
they've been great, and I'm probably like most dads that was a coach and in the athletics. I was hoping for they was going to be boys, and but the good Lord knew that I needed girls. I probably needed some patience.
Yeah,
and. So my two daughters have been a blessing, and then now my youngest daughter Chrissy's got we have J-Man, Jeremiah.
The J-Man, yeah.
Yeah, we call him J-Man, but I call him J-Man.
Yeah.
Jeremiah's his name, and I think he's going to be a lefty.
How old is he?
He's He's 13 months
Okay.
now.
All right.
But he's already throwing balls and he's always throwing at left hand. So I think he's going to be a lefty.
Maybe next Steve Carlton. Never know.
Maybe. His dad being a baseball player, but I'm hoping maybe J-Man can be starting quarterback and be the next Snake Stabler at Alabama.
There you go. Hey, I'm always envisioning stuff like that too. So I want to end this with a philosophical question. Okay, I want to go a little bit philosophical on you. So the question is, what, in your opinion, is the purpose of a coach? What is the purpose of a coach? I know that's kind of a tough question.
Well, not really. Trying to verbalize, because it's so much. Mm-hmm. It's so much, Al. But so to be able to verbalize it in just a few words is what's hard about it. Mm-hmm. I've had coaches that throughout my career that have changed my life. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, to me, what a coach should be is someone that believes in someone and does what they have to do to put that person on a successful career. Sometimes some of the coaches I had, I didn't tell me everything I wanted to hear. I mean, they told me some things that I didn't want to hear, but I needed to hear them. So I think a coach has to be someone that influences others to become what they want to become. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you can, and that's kind of what I was getting at is, you can have all the wins in the world, but are you helping those young men and women that are coming within your orbit and your influence to be better at life? That's, to me, that's what and you want to win. I mean, you obviously you want to win, but helping them have more success at life. I think that's such a huge thing.
Well, I mean, you're not going to win all your games. Okay, so how you're going to judge your success, and sometimes you don't know that if you've been successful or not until several years down the road, and you have some of those kids that you've coached come back to you and say things to you, and some of the best things for me have been, I've had some of my players write me notes, not that I had forgot about them, but they had kind of been out of my things I do for a few years, and then I get some kind of note through the mail or via text or saying, "Hey, Coach, I appreciate you."
Yeah.
And I actually got a drawer at home in one of my in a chest that I keep all those things in.
That's great, man.
But every time I get something like that, I take and I stick it in that drawer.
It means a lot. Yeah. It absolutely means a lot.
Yeah. Well, those things mean more to me than any trophy or whatever that I've ever gotten.
Yeah. So. Well, and that just shows that you're making an impact. It transcends the wins. So. Well, Coach, I really do appreciate it, man. It's been a pleasure to get to know you a little bit more and get that round of golf in, man. Get you take a little break and get you a round of golf in. Wish you the best of success in the future.
And I thank you, Al.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Of course. Yes, sir.
If I ever get a chance, if I ever get another trip to play golf, you got to go to Pebble Beach.
Pebble Beach, man. I've been right there. I've been to Monterey and I didn't get to go play at Pebble Beach, but I have been to Monterey. So
Yeah, I've got to play, and so that's one of my favorite golf stories and golf trips was to Pebble Beach, and the other one was to Sawgrass in Ponte Vedra, in number 17, the Island Hole.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Pebble Beach, and then you promised me you got to go to Boston and Nantucket.
That may happen this spring.
I love it. I love it.
Boston and the trip may happen this spring.
You got to go, man. So, got to go to Fenway too. So
I'll let you know. I'll send you a text. I'm headed to Boston.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Thanks, man.